Hey everybody, it's Spear here, and now that the anniversary reprints have all been announced, unsurprisingly, now there's new announcements. The second Unison Warrior set has just been announced, a Vermillion Bloodline, and it looks like there's a huge Super Saiyan 4 theme behind it. So I wrote down some notes, just a quick overview of the things we can pull from this trailer to know what's coming up in the next set. So before we jump into my analysis, let's just, I'll play parts of it, say what my thoughts are, and then we'll go in piece by piece as we discover some of the things I've noted down.
Unison Warrior Series, Vermillion Bloodline, SS4 Son Goku Zeno, SS4 Bardock, SS4 Son Goku,
Lots of Super Saiyan Force.
SS4 Vegeta. Your favorite SS4 fighters are all here, along with servants in the thrall of sinister overlords. Arrogance won't have control for long. When Broly from DragonBall Super goes berserk, Earth's inhabitants are brainwashed as Super Baby 2 makes his nefarious
But why is it blue?
Darkness must be part of a hero. With Bobby and Prince of Destruction Vegeta, the Prince of Destruction awakens.
This makes sense, especially considering the Agent of Destruction Vegeta we got, the Unison we're getting in the anniversary box.
For the first time ever in Demon
Hey, we're finally getting some garlic stuff.
Garlic Jr. and the Demon Clan are here.
So that's our second yellow archetype,
Metro Shenron continue the Shadow Dragon onslaught.
because the Shadow Dragons are still mono yellow.
Original characters Majin Buu Zeno and Dabura Zeno enter the fray. Paragus Zeno and Dark Broly debut as the Dark Empire saga heats up. You can also expect fusion tag team.
So, like we saw there, most of the archetypes we were able to diagnose their colors. So we're getting red Broly BR cards, and also in the card flash that they show us later, we also see that there's also red Gogeta BR. So it stands to think that most of the movie cards relating from the movie will be red, and being the second Unison set and the first Unison set was very monocolored oriented, I'm fairly certain these archetypes are going to stay stiff in trying to stay monocolored. Additionally, we saw Blue Baby. That's a little frustrating because, Baby started off as a red archetype and then it pivoted to yellow, but that's fine because it was red and yellow. Now it's blue. And I feel like with the monocolor stuff, it means that most of the stuff we see there is not going to be able to sync in with any of the old stuff. Which is a bummer because as a huge lover of the Baby archetype, I think, any support that could go back into it would be fantastic. But looks like it's going to be probably mono blue. We saw that yellow was going to be garlic and all the Demon Clan stuff, and that includes, cards that are being mind controlled, and actually plays into the archetype we see later. We also see yellow Shadow Dragons come back. Makes sense, like I had predicted in my Archetype 101 for Shenron. A lot of the archetype felt like cards were missing, and that the archetype in general, especially with the leader ability, needed more. So obviously we're getting that here. Nothing too crazy there. For the Xeno villains, so we saw like Majin Buu and Dabura, as well as Broly. We can see here that it's either a green and a black archetype, which is weird. Usually black archetypes are very self-contained, so to see that express itself in some green is weird. But we have seen that with the Frieza, right? We saw some Frieza stuff that was Xeno Frieza. Obviously, that's just extending that. And the Super Saiyan 4 stuff doesn't look like it fits anywhere right now. We see some yellow Super Saiyan 4 stuff, but it also like splashes into other colors, which makes me feel like Super Saiyan 4 is just kind of sprinkled everywhere. I mean, obviously with this Broly that we see right here, he's a Super Saiyan 4 Broly, which stands to guess that it's either a black archetype, which would make sense here. So it's like Xeno Super Saiyan 4, or it splashes into a bit of everywhere.
Fire saga heats up. You can also expect fusion tag team, game original crossovers, SS4 team-ups, and new Unison combinations.
So obviously this is going to be a very heroes-centric archetype, right? Because Super Saiyan 4 and Xeno Goku is obviously a hero's character. Same with this like baby dude. I can't remember what he's called, but he's anyways, if you watch the Heroes clips, you know who he is. So he's not canon, but that's effectively where he comes from. So for the first time in ever, I think we're getting a very Dragon Ball Heroes focused set. Usually they do a lot of canon stuff and then splash in the heroes. Here it looks like Heroes is going to be at the forefront of what a lot this set's trying to do. Though we can see here Super Saiyan 4, more black stuff. So actually it looks like Super Saiyan 4, the Super Saiyan 4 archetype will be the black archetype.
To make your Dragon Ball Dream Teams a reality. The set also features the new Overlord and Servant card skills. Cards with Servant can't be controlled, but get a blast of power to compensate.
So here we see the Demon Overlord archetype, and here actually, before we jump into the other stuff, looks like we get a Kid Gohan archetype. So it looks like we're not only getting Shadow Dragons in yellow, we're getting Kid Gohan as well as Demon Clan. Although they could stand that maybe, you know, Gohan was a kid during the Demon Clan arc, so maybe it's just a second layer leader, or it's a starter deck leader.
Can control servants. Use your servants to gain a brief boost of strength, then have your Overlord command them to overwhelming victory.
Oh, overwhelming victory. So intense every single time. All right, so let's take a look at this Garlic Jr. SR here, because it does give us a bit more information. My reading ability is not great here, but we also see a yellow baby unison card here. We see a Garlic leader. So effectively, Overlord and Servant. Servant essentially, I don't know if Servant feels like they have a debuff, like they can't untap. Maybe that even replicates itself into other things, like they can't attack or yada yada. But for now, the only thing that we know is that Servants could allow you to not attack, but you get a buff. So in this case, the Roshi couldn't attack, but he's a 2-drop 20k for that turn. And then Servant allows you to do something with your Overlord allows you to do something with your servants to then get a benefit. So for this Garlic Jr., we can ship Roshi to the bottom of the deck to be able to draw a card. Shipping to the bottom of the deck is weird, except when we start looking at his second ability, which says if the bottom of the deck is a Demon Clan card, would cost 2 or less, you can play it, otherwise return to the bottom of the deck. So this is kind of cool because we can attack with the Roshi, play the Garlic Jr., ship Roshi back to the bottom, and then play him again, and then attack with him, which means you get 2 20k swings. Very relevant. Obviously, the rest of the archetype probably works this way. It's very similar to what we saw with Trunks and Vegeta, where there was like a Trunk archetype that would look for Vegeta at the bottom of your deck. Now that's just expressed itself in the Demon Clan cards. So while we don't know the full extent of Servant and Overlord, essentially Servants have a debuff and Overlords can either sack them or do something with them that allows you to get a benefit out of it.
Use your servants to gain a brief boost of strength, then have your Overlord command them to overwhelming victory.
And then here we meet more Garlic cards. Let's see. Okay, we can see this little Garlic Jr. right here. So he's got Deflect, Indestructible. He's got Overlord. Place 1 card, Servant to the bottom of your deck. Okay, yeah, so here's another Overlord card. So it looks like it really is just ship it to the bottom of your deck. And then let's see, what's he say? If your lead card is a yellow Demon Clan card, when this card is placed... All right, let's get real close. When this card is played, activate the skill. If your opponent's next turn, your leader card is da 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 da. Okay, interesting. So it looks like it says when you play this card, your cards don't take double strike or triple strike damage for the turn. Something of that effect. Really cool, especially with the fact that it has Deflect. That's awesome, actually, because that means you could probably save yourself from a big boss monster, at least for the turn.
292 cards in all.
All right, so here is kind of see where we see more spread. We see some blue Vegeta cards here. We see some story cards from the Broly movie. So obviously Kid Vegeta. We got young Nappa. Blah blah blah. Looks like the leader will be the Golden Lazaru form for Baby.
With 3 secret rares, including the first secret unison card ever. You won't want to miss it.
I feel like this unison is going to be insane. Just the fact that a non-SCR unison like the Agent of Destruction, Vegeta, and Babidi exist and is going to be released with the anniversary box. That alone is just insane. That thing is a board wipe. That ignores it. It hits everything, right? So I have to feel like the SCR Unison card has to be busted.
Premium pack sets will also be available at release. Packed with value, these sets include 4 boosters and 2
Red Gogeta, Super Saiyan Blue.
Pre-releases are also.
All right, so here we have a black Gohan, and then what looks to be like a black Unison Piccolo.
Join in to get a foil stamped SS4 Gohan and Piccolo promo set.
So here we can see we got this tag team art. So I think that's going to be a big thing with this set is that we have a awakened leader that's supposed to go with the Unison card, and they have a like linked art. So this is what they were trying to do here. Let me just see if I can find it. Yeah, so I think that's what they were trying to show off here. Kind of like these conjoined arts, maybe, or at least leaders and unisons are meant to go together. And again, we see that this is a black Gohan, Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, cementing that it is in fact Super Saiyan 4 as a black archetype for the set.
Piccolo promo set. And look forward to another special promotion exclusive to stores holding pre-release events. Store championships are also being planned to celebrate the release of Vermillion
You know,
Bloodline.
if you can actually hit the stores up.
Get mind-blowing new promo cards. DragonBall Super Card Game, Unison Warrior Series, Vermillion Bloodline, coming this September. Stay
So September 2020 is when we're going to get the next set. It's fine, dates nothing special there. And I don't think we can pull anything from this art that we haven't seen before. But yeah, that's essentially it. We got a bunch of different archetypes, a lot of color shifted archetypes. I'm a little disappointed about the baby stuff. But the garlic stuff looks really sweet. I love Super Saiyan 4. I think it's one of the best looking transformations in the entire show, even if it's not canon. So maybe your boy might have to pick up black for once. Servant and Overlord looks very specific. I don't think it's going to be like a overly powerful mechanic, especially because you need like 2 cards to make it work. Or in that it's not generically powerful. I don't think it'll be the arrival of past sets. I think it'll be a cute little mechanic that you get some payoffs here and there, but it will be very deck specific. So that's our first look at Vermillion Bloodline. These names are so edgy. So what do you guys think about the new Unison Warrior set? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. It's super exciting. It's like 6 in the morning for me. I just ended up not going to bed and then this showed up. So I just figured I'd give you guys my reactions and quick analysis off the bat. Did you guys catch anything I didn't catch? If you like the videos, give it a thumbs up. If you thought it was bad, give it a thumbs down. And if you want to see more of my content, feel free to subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao.